Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Thursday evening. It is 8:45. It's actually 8:43, but I'm just going to lie a little bit on the East Coast time, and we are officially, I guess, through the first official 2 days of free agency, but we are 4 days into free agency. The Dallas Cowboys have one outside free agent signing. We have multiple players brought back. The Eagles just signed Devin White. We will get into all of that free agency because we are here. We are live. We are live from the Birds vs. Boys YouTube channel. We are live from the Birds vs. Boys Twitter account. And we are live from the man himself, Aidan Powers Twitter account. Aidan, how are you? Another day, another dollar, more free agency moves all around the league.
Yeah, another dollar spent by the Eagles. I love it. This is like if Christmas were every single day, where instead of opening all of your presents on the 25th, it's like an advent calendar where you just
That's
open
called
one.
Hanukkah.
Well, that's 8 days. The way it's trending, it's kind of like that. But it's like the advent calendars where you just open like one every single day to the 25th. That's how it's felt with free agency so far, which is amazing. And I love it. It was beautiful weather. We're signing free agents. We're improving the team. I think I hope everyone in Pennsylvania and the Northeast had a good day except for James Franklin.
We talked about this the other night, right? The whole Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta thing, and how the hell would Atlanta be able to sign him for that much money the first day of free agency and not know how his surgically repaired Achilles tendon from last year is?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it happens. It's real. Just go with it.
It's the Wild West. Who cares? Like I know it personally benefited me because we got Saquon Barkley, but at the same time, did it because they attempted to re-sign DeAndre Swift in the exit interviews. They didn't. He magically signed at like 12:05. He was the first signing off the board. Not Saquon Barkley. It was DeAndre Swift to the Bears. They're clean and clear, but Saquon to the Eagles, that's tampering. That's where we draw the line. So it's just one of those things. I'm sure the league just has to look into it because it's in the headlines, and Pro Football Talk is just, being a narc and putting that out there. But at the same time, like, I don't think any fan cares. It just, the only reason why it bothered me is because it's James Franklin who just gets under my skin because he is a snake oil salesman. We talked about this in the last show. Saquon coming home is amazing for us Central Pennsylvania Eagles fans, but all of us Central Pennsylvania Eagles fans, as much as we love Saquon, we hate James Franklin. So the fact that it was him that caused the investigation is what gets under your skin.
All right, let's start in Philadelphia. We don't have much time tonight because Aidan is going to cheat on me with another podcast that he has to record around 10 after 9. But we are here for the people. We are always here for the people. When they call, we haul. Who's that? Tony Pollard. Shout out Tony Pollard, Tennessee Titans. You call I'll haul it. Let's start with the Eagles because they have the most recent signing, Devin White. I will say, from my perspective, the Eagles obviously are having I think, top tier start to free agency. And I will preface that as they start to free agency because I don't believe they're done. Not only do they get Saquon, you mentioned the easy factor of Hennessy bringing him in for the O-line depth.
Makes sense.
Devontae Parker is an easy, just whatever. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, who cares? I think this is kind of the same sort of thing. I am not fearful of this signing, right? I think Devin White kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. He wasn't the same guy. It easily could be Shaq Leonard 2.0, but it's a 1 year, $7.5 million deal. Linebacker has been an issue. Why not? He's an athletic freak show, especially if you want to put him on the blitz. He can be a weapon. So it does not scare me. Whatever. But at the same time, looking at why not if he's there for Philly.
That's kind of my whole mindset with anything that they try at the linebacker position. And it was my mindset when they signed Shaq Leonard. Now, do I think Devin White is a lot better than Shaq Leonard? Yes, because Devin White's back is intact and hasn't been surgically repaired multiple times. So right there, that's an upgrade over Shaq Leonard at that linebacker position. You mentioned just kind of like an athletic freak. We talked about this, but they just lack dynamic skill players that force turnovers, that make plays, that are athletic. I can't believe we're talking about an NFL team on defense that just lacks athletes in this day and age. It's almost hard to do considering how kids are testing at the combine these days, but the Eagles have managed to do it. They've been old. They have been slow. They have been unathletic at these positions. So to get a guy who's 26, and like you said, I saw some of the metrics, like he's not grading out well against the run and stuff like that. And I get that. I totally get that. But I love the athleticism factor. I love that he was a captain. I feel like this was a captainless ship last year. It's been talked about many times this offseason of who the leader is and even questioning the leaders themselves like Jalen Hurts. To get a guy in the locker room who's won a Super Bowl, played in big moments, beat us in the playoffs this past year. And I know he lost his starting spot, but he's still in the field. I like it a lot. And it's a position that needs depth too.
I will tell you a tiny challenge to that is I listened to a couple reports the other night before he did sign from very reputable sources saying a lot of him losing his starting spot too was off the field locker room stuff where he just didn't want to play for them. And they were, it was a lot of that kind of stuff. And they're like, okay, fine, then sit. So that could just be frustration in his situation there, and coming back to a new place and a place like Philly where the vibes right now are high could easily bring him back to that captain-esque. You don't know.
I don't know how high the vibes are here, but I do get the point that you're making, that you're coming to a culture that has been winning as of late. And I remember last offseason, him being a trade name, him being in the rumors a year ago, and just being contract talks with him breaking down and stuff like that. So I understand where this is like he's like, yeah, I don't want to be here. And it seemed like they were like, yeah, well, we don't really want to pay you to be here either. So it was a failed marriage by the end. It seemed like it's one of those things like you go out with a few couples and you're like, yeah, they'll be broken up. Like this, but why are we trying to befriend this guy? He's not going to stick around. Nope. That's how I feel watching the Devin White and the Bucks. So yeah. And again, similar to what we talked about some other guys. The key word here in all of those tweets about his signing, quote unquote, up to $7.5 million, not $7.5 million, up to $7.5 million. That is a big difference. I'm assuming his like base salary would probably be around $2 million.
I saw 1.7.
It's what?
I saw 1.7. I thought
I almost hit it on a T. I was going to say 1.5 to 2. It's at 1.7.
I mean, that's a guy. If he gets cut the final day of camp, who cares?
1.7 million off the Bucks. Okay, yeah. And what if he doesn't start here? Fine. Nakobe Dean was hurt twice this year. If you still believe in him, and they do, that's fine. Like, I get it. And you invested in him and you drafted draft picks and you believed in him from the start. But he was hurt twice. It's how I feel the same way about Reed Blankenship. Just like, if you still believe in him, that's fine. But he's also been hurt every single year he's played. So you got to have a backup plan if you still believe in these guys, and they do. And I think they like this other guy, the undrafted one, Ben Sermon. I'm going to mess his name up, but he was another guy tested athletically crazy at the combine. They brought him in late round pick free agent, like undrafted free agent. So still kind of like a project, but they trust in him a lot and believe in him that he could be a starter. So we'll see. I don't think they're done at linebacker. They almost numbers wise can't be done, but yeah, why not?
Well, let's shift to the Cowboys, staying same position, same kind of veteran move. Yesterday, Cowboys dipped their toe finally into free agency outside of their own building.
They put one toe into the water.
One toe. Hey, they put two toes in the other pool again today of the players still there, re-signing CJ Goodwin, their special teams ace, and Jordan Lewis coming back, nickel cornerback. But Eric Kendricks, and this is Aidan, exactly what we said when we went live the other night. We ended the show by saying, I wonder if there's going to be any of these deals, quote, deals that were agreed to that are going to be reneged on. And it happened with Eric Kendricks, right? I thought all week Eric Kendricks was an easy target for the Dallas Cowboys to sign. He is a veteran. He is not going to cost a lot of money. And he was a captain for Mike Zimmer. And Mike Zimmer wants to bring in some of his guys. But then we saw the reports. He was agreeing to a deal with the 49ers. But then that fell through. Congratulations to the Dallas Cowboys. You finally beat the San Francisco 49ers. Good job, guys. You finally did it. You did it.
All right. Good job, fellas. It's
We
like the
did it.
Alonzo Mourning Heat meme, where at least for me as an Eagles fan, where it's like he signed with the Cowboys, so you're like shaking your head, and it's like, but he went back on the 49ers. You're like, well, like, don't love it. Well, he did go back on the 49ers, and I love to see their downfall. So in the end, I'm like, oh, it's better than that. Fly Eagles
Devontae
fly
Smith
on the
checking in.
road to Saquon. Thank you, Devontae. We are very excited. The press conference was awesome today. It feels surreal that he is in an Eagles uniform right now.
It is. It is for everyone. But Eric Kendricks, linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys, I think he is immediately an upgrade over everybody they had last year at linebacker.
We talked about this multiple times throughout the year. You name a name at linebacker, and both of us are like, well, he'd be better than what we got.
I mean, he's a former All-Pro. As he lost a step? Of course. He had 117 tackles last year. He knows Mike Zimmer's defense. I think he's immediately going to get the green dot, and he's going to be calling the defense. Again, just like you said, I don't think they're done at linebacker. Leighton Vander Esch is about to retire, and the rest of it was literally safeties playing linebacker last year, one of which is Jaron Kearse, who's not there anymore anyway.
And they brought that up on the podcast that you love so much after you guys got torched by 50 against the Packers. And then one of your players had the Packers quarterback on. You were like, that's so much fun. I love this. I love the new age football. And they talked about safeties playing linebacker as a position of weakness for the Cowboys in that playoff game. And you pointed that out, how much you enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it very much so. And Eric Kendricks has always been good against the run. If you watch him play, he's one of those linebackers that, you know what they say, like good linebackers know how to shed blockers. Like he doesn't even allow you to get hands on him. And he's just, I think he's going to bring a little bit of nastiness, some attitude. I really do enjoy the signing. I'm not throwing a parade for it. Emmanuel Acho did on Fox Sports today. He said it was almost a generational move.
Kiss of death.
Yeah, he said it brought them from like a D+ at the position to B, and I would somewhat agree. But the cake is not done yet.
Crazy.
You have to see what else is added, right?
Yeah.
To piece.
You brought up like him being able to shed blockers well. I feel like we have multiple linebackers on both of our teams that don't even make it to a point that they're in a position that they can be blocked. They're that slow and they're that out of position. Somebody posted the Nate Gary picture today, screen grab, where he is standing backwards while the play goes on. He's facing the end zone, facing the wrong way. So the fact that Kendricks can shed blockers immediately is an upgrade because someone will be able to block him.
Yep. And I'm very interested to see what else they do, right? I think they're going to try and get a linebacker in the draft. I don't know if any of even these top guys are just a plug-and-play starter anyway, whether it be Cooper or Junior Colson. So I think this is a great move for them. They have DeMarion Overshown that's going to be coming off the ACL injury from last year, didn't play a snap during the regular season. And then you always have Micah, right, who's going to kind of be a weapon. Can't wait to see how Mike Zimmer plays him. But their first outside free agent signing, I'm good with it. Just don't be done.
Don't be done, and I don't think that they will. I think that this is very funny to say because I think we're both targeting guys in the second round at linebacker, and then the second round will come and go, and neither of our team will take them. We'll be screaming on a live stream come draft night, trade up, get one of these guys, get Jeremiah Trotter Jr., get Cooper, who had a top 30 visit with the Eagles. So I know they're interested. They met with him at the Senior Bowl as well. So I know there is definitely interest there. Yep. It'll come and go, and they'll take like an interior offensive lineman and we'll be like, well, we tried.
I mean, that is very realistic for the Cowboys. The Cowboys going tackle center or some in the first two rounds is if Tyron doesn't come back, which is they haven't closed the door, says Stephen Jones, and he's still out there. If Tyron doesn't come back, they're going to have to address two positions at the offensive line.
But there's depth at those positions in the draft. I think through day 1 and 2, you could, like you said, they could go tackle center. And I think you'd be like, if you got Tyler Guyton in round 1 and turned around and got a guy in the second round, I feel like you'd be all right.
Yep.
Giants picked up Jack Stoll. I liked him a lot, but they re-signed Albert O in the offseason, and they have Grant Calcaterra. So I guess he was the odd man out. I did forget his name pre-show when Kevin was like, Giants got Jack Stoll. And I was like, wait, how do I know that name? I was like, oh, yeah.
Why do I know that name?
I was screaming for the rooftops to play him more. And a month after the season, I'm like, whose name is that again?
Guy signs with the Eagles, and half a second later, his name just doesn't exist in your mind anymore.
It wipes that. I was telling you at the gym, people tell me their name. I walk out of that place and it's just wiped clean. I don't know anyone's name. That today they were like,
you have to find them on Instagram immediately. So then that's the only way you learn their name.
Exactly. If I watch your Instagram story and I see you at the same gym as me, then it starts to matriculate in my brain that you are a person and I know your name. But like today, they were like, "Oh, you know Will," and I was like, "I don't think so." And like you dapped him up like 10 minutes ago. I was like, "Oh, I do know him."
There's one guy I see at the gym. Like when I go through my going early at 5 a.m. routines, I
God.
do it for a couple months, and then like he's always there. And then I'll like start working out later in the day for a while, and so I never see him. And then I'll see him again and he forgets my name and I forget his name every time. And we both like see each other. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? And then he's like, listen,
What's up, man?
I'm like, I forgot to.
Yeah. I do that with a kid up here. He lives like 2 blocks from me. I know his whole life story. I know what he has for a job. I know where he lives. His girlfriend's with him. So I always see them together, ask how they're doing, what they're up to. Couldn't tell you a name.
No chance. No chance.
No shot.
So there's been some interesting stuff going on quarterbacks wise, right? We saw Sam Howell. He was pushed out to Seattle. So there was another link today about Justin Fields, the Eagles. I just don't know what the options legitimately are for him right now.
This is not a real thing. Like it's just not.
I know, but I just love I love bringing it up.
This is the like
until it's not.
But we don't have enough time for me to go on a rant about just like this certain media things in this city that we can fix. Like people don't care about this. Like they just create them out of thin air. We are not 8-year-olds playing Madden. Justin Fields is not coming here. And also like we're sitting here and we're both saying to ourselves, like, all right, they signed a safety, but they're so bad at safety. They're not done. They're not done. All right. They're so bad at linebacker that they signed a guy, but they're not done. They have to draft a corner. That Jason Kelsey retired. Cam Jurgens kicks in. So they need to sign a guard. So what draft pick do you want to give up for Justin Fields that you would have to allocate to these other positions that you just say sucked? This defense sucked. I don't know about you, but I was thinking about this. Every guy they signed puts into perspective for me how freaking bad this defense was last year. Like they signed Devin White and they were like, oh yeah, his metrics against the run were bad. I'm like, but he wasn't Nicholas Morrow bad. You know, they like signed CJ Gardner-Johnson. I'm like, well, he's an upgrade over every single person that they had a year ago at safety. So, like, they need to upgrade all of these positions, and you want to give them up assets for a backup quarterback in Justin Fields. Why? There's not a single part of it that makes sense.
Because what do we say all the time? It's shiny, old, or new toy season.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, it's because the people who call on these radio shows also have the maturity of a 4-year-old who gets distracted by toys. I will say,
we always talk about the differences in the media between Dallas and Philadelphia. 1053 The Fan, I know you're not entrenched in it in Cowboys Twitter, has been taking
some things
beating.
Yeah. That's beating. Well, listen, what they did was worse than like making up mock trades for AJ Brown. Yeah. You can preface it for the people because I know we have a lot of Philadelphia people.
Yeah, the one show, and I will preface it and say it was one show. I listen to 1053 The Fan all day, but the midday show I really don't listen to, and that was the show that Dak Prescott has been. Well, this is the funny thing. He wasn't sued, right? He was sent a letter from a lawyer, basically saying like, we want $100 million because you had sexual misconduct against my client 7 years ago. Dak Prescott immediately sues for defamation. And then once he did that, the woman countersued and criminal charges because it is technically, I think the civil is out of time. They can't use it. But anyway, 1053 The Fan had the lawyer for this woman on the show, and they didn't have Dak's lawyer on. Now, another one of the shows reached out to Dak's lawyer, and who is also the Cowboys lawyer, and asked and he just said they're not doing media at this time. But I get both sides, because like it is journalism, you want to give, but you need to have both sides, I think, because to have one lawyer come on and literally say Dak Prescott raped my client 4 times on a radio show, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough look. I'm not touching it. I haven't been going at it on. The only thing I tweeted was that radio personalities and content creators for the Dallas Cowboys are going back and forth on Twitter like it's the Kardashians versus the housewives. Like it's just, and then like people are like, oh, I'm done. And then like 2 minutes later, they're tweeting at it again. I'm like, guys, just stop. Okay. It's
just pray they sign a linebacker.
Yeah, exactly.
And an offensive lineman.
It's been brutal. But anyway, they still need a running back. So they were linked to AJ Dillon, but now it seems like AJ Dillon is going to the Packers.
He's going. It's done.
Yeah. So there is one name out there that I want them to sign.
Zeke Elliott?
Nope. But that's probably what it's going to be. Did you see my tweet yesterday about that?
No, but you texted me. It was just like you were having a midlife crisis where you're like, and they're going to sign Zeke Elliott again.
Yeah. And this is why. Here, ready? Everybody that's watching and listening. This is my logic. What is a position of need? Running back.
Everything. Well, running back. Yeah.
Running back, right? Yes.
We are not. But
hold on. I was adopted, so it's possible.
That is technically true. We have not done the 23andMe. We're brothers like Vin Diesel and Paul Walker are brothers.
Yes.
Go always be my brother.
And you can guess who's who. A position of need is running back, right? They have not signed a running back in free agency yet. What does Jerry Jones love besides anything? And don't tell me Super Bowls and wins, because it's not that. It's headlines and it's making money. What would be the most headlines of headlines that would keep them in the headlines on every stupid show all offseason? A reunion of Jerry Jones, the Dallas Cowboys, and Zeke Elliott.
I do see that, and you're right. It's not.
And I'm not done.
Oh.
What would make money? Starving, casual Dallas Cowboys fans buying now number 15 Zeke Elliott jerseys for the Dallas Cowboys.
Wouldn't it have been easier to just sign Derrick Henry? And I feel like that would have got the fan base going even more to like,
they didn't even call.
Say 22, but I don't think you can do that with the Cowboys.
They didn't even call.
I feel like entertainment-wise, like, does Derrick Henry put you over the top as a offense? No, not at this stage, but to not even call, like, it would definitely be entertainment.
He literally is like, I live there.
Does it?
They didn't call.
They didn't even call. It's him in a Ravens uniform. Like, there's going to be a Thursday night game. They're going to wear black uniforms. They'll be playing, like, I don't know, not the Steelers, because they always play tough, but like the Bengals or the Titans in a homecoming or something like that. Or he plays the Jaguars and he runs for 208 yards, 3 touchdowns, and stiff arms someone into the Earth's core. No doubt about it. That is coming.
Patrick Queen.
Yeah, that would be wild.
I don't know. It's there's one running back left on the market that I would, really, it's Deontay Foreman. I think he runs hard. He's a hammer. He's lightly used, as I've seen people say. So
I love how we talk about running backs like the way we talk about televisions on Facebook Marketplace. Like, oh, it's lightly used. Like, there's still a lot of tread left in it. Like, it's barely out of the box.
Color's good.
The color's still good.
I still have the remote. Remote control still works. Batteries included.
Batteries included. Yeah, like a lot of energy left. Everything. We'll take 2 years, 12 million, or best offer.
Derrick Henry then is like one of those big ass ones that you like have to wheel. Remember the old ones that had that huge back on it? Or
old reliable. When it came in the room and you're like, we're watching a movie in school today. Yeah, that's Derrick Henry. Like, you still get excited. That one comes out and you're like, that can still give me a 65-yard run for a touchdown every now and then. Doesn't come out much, but when it does, you're gonna have a day.
So I don't. We'll see what they do. I mean, they have to sign somebody. I mean, it could end up being Rico Dowdle and bringing him back, but they're going to have to address the running back position multiple times, and they're definitely going to draft somebody. I hope it's somebody like Trey Benson in the third round. I would love Trey Benson in the third round. I don't know if he'll still be there at 88, but if he is, you got to pull the trigger.
I have one more Eagles thing, but we will do another mock draft soon. We had done 2, and then free agency started, so we wanted to let the dust settle to see what our team addressed. This will be it's like a Sudoku puzzle. They sign guys, so now you kind of know what the positions of need are still. And for me, that becomes easier. For you, Kevin, it's not. You just still have to go back to the well on every single position on the mock draft. So that'll be a fun one to do, and we'll have that one coming up soon.
You want to? I'll end like this, Aidan. Get your hands ready to go again. Cowboys need to replace starting left tackle, starting center, 2 running backs. Let's say a defensive end. Dorrance Armstrong's gone. Defensive tackle. They did do a linebacker, so I'm going to do one more linebacker. Starting safety, starting cornerback, and they might need a wide receiver because Gallup's probably going to go.
Only 10.
Yeah. Well, we were at 11.
Yesterday I was flashing, so we've actually come down.
Eric Kendricks,
now we're on 10. So we're getting there.
We're getting there. So, it's our time to shine right now.
Yeah.
Day 5 through 37.
Yeah. The island of misfit toys is open and ready for business. So that'll be good. I have 2 Eagles points. Things to look forward to. We've done 3 off-season shows so far. What comes next? 1, I'm worried about Josh Sweat. I don't think he survives the offseason. I think he'll be on another team. Where that team is, I don't know. And what his trade value is, I don't know, because he's been really productive for like a year and a half, but then wasn't down the stretch last year, but has a pretty friendly contract. So I don't know what his trade value would be. I'm assuming they're trying to find out. And 2, I saw Tyler Huntley linked to the Eagles today. Yes. Not that I've said no to many free agents, but yes to him. I think that'd be a very good backup. Similar kind of game to Hurts. I will take it. So I think the next move that they make will probably be addressing backup quarterback. They tried to with Joe Flacco. He signed elsewhere with the Colts. The comeback player of the year. Still can't get over that. But yeah, I think Huntley will probably be the next name off the board for the Eagles, or it might be Sweat going somewhere else. It's tough.
Any interest in Hunter Renfrow?
No. Although we need a scrappy white guy.
Yeah.
We haven't had one since like Kevin Curtis. I think this team is missing like the scrappy white guy. You ever see the Shane Gillis clip where he's like, there's a smart run. There's a heads up run.
Yep.
That's Hunter Renfrow.
It is. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We will be back live next week. We will be having a full episode of mock drafts everywhere on our YouTube page, here on Twitter. Thank you for watching. Tell your friends, tell your family. We cover the entire NFL from draft through free agency. Whether our teams win 12 games in the division, or next week, how I'm going to be talking that I think they're going to be winning 7-8 games, the Dallas Cowboys. So, but that's for a next episode. Everybody, maybe we are, maybe we aren't. We're brothers like 4 brothers. I don't know which one of us would be Mark Wahlberg in this situation, but I love that movie, and we're one of them. I'm the one that works out at like 4:45 in the morning. So I think that makes me Tyrese. So I'll take it. Perfect. Later.